And we're back in Hartford. Hi there, I'm David Smith. Meet the leaders, and we are pleased to have Representative Livvy Floren of Greenwich of the 149th District. We were just talking about, this is the final day, but yesterday was just a mess, a flurry of activity, to put it mildly.
It really was. We had a couple of talkers, as they say, the Yukon bill and the energy bill, the big omnibus energy bill.
Right.
And then we broke and we took up the bills that the Senate had put on consent. They put 80 on one consent calendar and 75 on the other. We only took up 16 of those, but they went like that.
Unbelievable.
I know.
You know, and people at home are sitting there and saying, geez, you hear about these debates that go on all day and all night and all that sort of thing, and then on certain elements, you can just get things done like that.
Well, you can, especially if it's an issue that really no one either understands nor cares about. Then they'll agree and let it go. But everyone had something to say about energy and certainly about the Yukon Health Center.
Yeah. You're feeling on both?
I voted yes on both.
Okay.
I voted no on the energy bill last year because I didn't think it was well reasoned, but they really talked it through. They negotiated with both sides of the aisle, and they had the new commissioner of DEEP, which is now called Dan Esty,
right.
And he was in from day one, and it's a good bill. So I voted for it.
Effectively, what does that mean to our viewers?
Well, I think it means you have a Department of Energy for the first time. You do have a strategy. You have great emphasis on renewables. Now, to me, there was a little too much on solar and nothing on nuclear. I'd rather have seen a better balance there. But I think it's going to well serve the people of Connecticut going forward.
Wind is kicked into the mix too, to some extent.
Wind,
as well.
all of the renewables.
Yeah.
Hydro, geothermal, wind, solar.
Everybody at home has been hearing about the battling over the budget for so long, and the yays and the nays, and who's benefiting, who's not benefiting, and so forth. But as you suggest, so much other business really has gotten done this time.
Absolutely. We did the budget on May 3rd? So that gorilla was out of the room, and then you really could do more legislative business, where before the budget was always the hostage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think it slowed down a lot of good things.
To what do you attribute that?
Getting the budget done?
Yeah, getting it done as swiftly, so it was not, the hostage that it has been in years.
Well, I think you have a Democrat governor, a Democrat majority in the Senate, and a Democrat majority in the House. They decided to do the budget. They did the budget. Okay. That's fine.
But it enabled you and others to get other bills of particular parochial interest for your constituents and for you, of course, to get done.
Perfectly happy. And my main thrust, because I'm ranking on finance, on the bonding, the bonding bill went through so smoothly. My counterparts, Chairman Bocus and Fanfara, I mean, we worked together from day one. It just went through like, hot knife through butter. Right. And it was a good budget.
Can be a bone of contention. We are heavily bonded in the state of Connecticut.
Bonded. We're heavily debt serviced, but what we did, we took all earmarks out of the bill. We made it a level playing field, and we basically spent most of our time on improving technology. The technology in the state is abysmal, and we took care of all the deferred maintenance. We've had our buildings and our infrastructure, they're falling down around our heads. No one has done anything for years. So those were the two thrusts. Everybody bought into it, and I think it will be cost effective going forward, and then hopefully we'll be able to, backpedal on the debt service.
We've been talking with some of your colleagues about the technology of government itself, and how behind the times it is in many areas. And that's really crucial. It costs a lot of money. It also slows down the process and makes it a less efficient place to be.
The Secretary of the State, when she came before the Bonding Commission, she's got computers in her office that are programmed on COBOL. I mean, I learned COBOL when it was written on the cave, that language.
About 30 years ago.
It's horrible. I mean, this is how far behind we are. And the governor, Dan, said when he came in, he said, I had a much better system at Stanford than the state has. So we're going to fix that.
Well, you've got a few more hours, at least in this case, and we'll see how things transpire as we come to a close at 12 o'clock. And of course, we still have to wait for the unions to vote on the package that's been proposed, so we'll see what that means too as we go forward. But we're always glad to catch up with you.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for coming to Hartford.
Always great to show our folks at home exactly what goes on here, especially on closing day, which is as chaotic as it is. And we've got more coming up for you. Representative Livvy Floren, 149th District in Greenwich. More to come when we return.